Hello everyone, sorry I am late. It's time for my cancer check-in. So, if you didn't know, I have a rare form of cancer called I have stage 4 lung cancer, and it's a rare mutation called ALK positive cancer. Actually, in June next month is ALK positive awareness month, so you'll see me sharing a lot more information about it. So I had my check-in last Monday. Today is Saturday the standby 17th. So I had my check-in last Monday, and it's just been a while since I've been pretty busy this week. There's so much work stuff, and I've been traveling, and I've been involved with a lot of stuff, so I just haven't had a lot of time to do anything until now. So it is. All right. So let's see. What did we do on Monday on our check-in? So we had our typical blood draw. We did a MRI of my shoulder. I met with the arthritis doctor about my hands, so I have an issue with both of my hands. I can't close them all the way, specifically my pinkies. My pinkies get locked. I don't know if you can see that. It's sort of locking, like a trigger finger, and that happens in both my hands. Recently, I was moving back in March. I moved back into my house. Made a lot of changes in my life and kind of moved back into my house. And I'll swoop around here. That TV right there was heavy, and actually that's not the correct TV. My TV that was there, I took it down. I have this old 3D TV that was my favorite TV. It was huge and very, very heavy, and I was trying to hang it back up, and because I'm switching rooms, and I broke it. And I was like, and they don't even make them anymore, so I had to use my old TV. So anyways, point being, I was doing some heavy stuff. I think I injured my arms, and that's what the doctor actually thinks. He doesn't think it's related to cancer or anything like that. He thinks it's just probably some sort of injury or something like that. So he said, we'll give it a couple months and see if it goes away or if it gets better. So that's that. So MRI on my shoulder was also related to some of that. I have some soreness here, but looks like most of that's okay. What else? So blood work. So they did all the blood work. They did everything. All my blood work stuff looks good. So all my numbers are still going in the correct direction that we want them. So everything's looking really good. Everything's really positive there. I had a moment where I was a little stressed or concerned about stuff because the issues with my hands and the soreness of my shoulder and stuff like that, and what was it, like digestive issues and stuff like that. There was a point where they said we might have to think about holding your trial drug and see if it's the drugs causing this. So there was a little bit of a scare. I want to say scare. There's something that made me sort of get a little bit worried about it. So what we did is we went and talked to my doctor, got a bunch of tests run and stuff like that, and we were identifying that it's not related to the cancer. It's something else that we're working on. So I'm meeting with specialists on a couple of different things, and we're running a bunch of tests, allergy tests and different types of tests and stuff like that. Just to eliminate stuff like, is it my environment I'm in? Is it something I'm eating? Is it something I'm doing? Is it, all that stuff. We want to make sure we eliminate all that stuff, and half that stuff has been eliminated, and we're just waiting on a few tests, and then we'll do like some specialist stuff and go into a few other situations. So hey, FYI, quick photography tip for you. You see how I'm not the greatest example, but you see how the lighting looks kind of good around. You got a shadow down here around your jawline. And if I go over here, you see how terrible I look over here. Everything's just kind of blah. So if you're on camera, you always want the camera above your forehead, like pointed up towards your forehead. It kind of gives you a nice jawline. Just a little photography tip for you. Anyway, so that's the check-in. It went well. We were a little bit concerned about a few things, but we feel confident that we're eliminating the cancer as being, the treatment as being a cause of any other issues and stuff like that. So things are looking positive there. I had 3 milestones this month that I completed that are important to me. Number one is we did a really long hike. I have some hiking buddies, and we went. One of my buddies and I, we went for a hike. I think it's like a 3 mile hike or something like that. And she had a really good pace. She was going fast, and I was struggling to keep up. But I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to have that pace. I wanted to see what my limit, not my limits, but what my capabilities were. Because I could usually do that pretty good. It wasn't like it was a hard hike. It was just a long hike, and I haven't really walked that length in at least a year, at least since last summer. So it was a good one. We had a really good hike, and I was just dying during it and at the end of it, and I'm like, good, all right, I need to do more of that, a lot more of that. So that was milestone number one. Milestone number two for me was someone asked me to be on their podcast. So I did a podcast last week, I think it was, and we talked for like 2 hours. And as you can see, my voice is almost there, not quite, but almost there. So that's the longest I had ever talked to anyone in the last at least 6 months, probably even longer than that. So I haven't physically had a 2 hour sit down conversation nonstop with someone probably since last summer at the earliest. So that was really, really cool. I have no idea when that'll come out, but that was a cool thing. And then the third thing was I just did an event the other night, a photography event. So I did an event called Woman in Construction. Excuse me. And it was at the Falmouth Country Club. And it was like, I don't know, 250 people there. And it was a beautiful afternoon. I got my drone up, did some drone shots, and I just was running around taking photos the whole time for probably like 3 or 4 hours. And I haven't done that since last summer as well. So that was a pretty good test. And it felt good. So those were good things. So I'm happy at my progress so far. That being said, I do have some stress stuff happening. There's not off camera, but metaphorically off camera. I have a few things that are stressful that I'm still dealing with that occasionally either pop up, or there are things that just has to be addressed at some point or whatever. There's just stuff that stresses me out, and it's just like you just got to figure out how to deal with those things. So that's one thing. This constant rain has been another thing. It's kind of like I lived in Seattle for 3 years, and it was nicer. It was less rain than this. So it's just been nonstop rain for me here, which really hinders. It's just been cold and wet, and it really hinders what I can do and how I feel and all that stuff. So all that's been a factor. As you can see, for me, this is the first time I've ever heard this before. So as you can see, I've put on some weight. I've put on a lot of weight. When I was at the beginning of my cancer, I think my weight got down to like 284 or something like that. I got way down because my lungs were full of fluid. My pathways were all full of fluid. I really wasn't hungry. I wasn't eating, so I lost a lot of weight. Now my weight's at 213, which is the highest it's been in the last couple of years. So this is the first time I've ever gone to the doctor and the doctor said, "Hey, your weight went up. That's great. You're doing good." So I've never had that before, and I probably won't have it again. So I just wanted to enjoy that one sentence from my doctor. It's good that where your weight is now, because that'll probably never be the same. But when you're dealing with cancer, that's an important thing, is to make sure your weight is okay. Obviously, you don't want to be eating junk food. You want to be eating healthy. But you also don't want to be losing a lot of weight, because that is a big possibility, and that affects your body and your immune system, all that stuff. So that's just a little funny thing. My next visit is in June. And in June, we do the scans. We'll do the CT, the MRIs, and all that sort of stuff. And I feel like there's I think I have a few other check-ins as well. And some specialist visits and stuff like that. So the June one will be the big, how much progress are we really making? That'll show us by the scans what we are doing, how it's going, all that sort of stuff. So for now, that's what it is. This month has been a challenge for me mentally. I think it's been a challenge, just a lot going on. It's just me, a single parent with my two children half the week, and it's just been juggling stuff, trying to not get sick, 'cause I keep getting sick. This is something that's been happening since the beginning of this year. And there's a few other things. So we've gone to specialists, and we're ruling out things, making sure it's not your environment, it's not your water or your food that you're eating. Make sure it's not all these different variables, because there's allergies and stuff like that. So we're going to specialists and looking at all of those things to identify specifically, is this related to the cancer, which we don't think it is, and what specifically is causing what, and then we can sort of eliminate those things, or try to. So this month's been a challenge, just dealing with all that, dealing with the stressful things that's going on in the background, and trying to get good quality time with my family and get back to work. Work is starting to pick up, and they have a lot of stuff that is going on that I want to be a part of, and it's just everything's picking up. I have been asked to come back to shoot more shows at the more concerts for the Bank in New Hampshire Pavilion, so they're giving me a bunch of shows to shoot. So the goal, what we're going to try is we're going to do this first. So I'm going to do a show next week. I forget which one it is. We're going to do a show next week, see how that goes. If that goes well, if I feel comfortable, we'll just kind of keep stacking them on, and we'll just take them one by one as we need to. But they've given me a whole list of shows that I can do. So if you're going to be at the Bank in New Hampshire Pavilion this summer, maybe I'll see you. So that's good. And then there's a couple other shows that are other venues that I'm hoping to get approved for. And then we just got family stuff. And I've been working on my house, my environment here. There's never-ending work here. The basement still is being worked. It's not being worked. I'm still trying to get my stuff out of there. There's still stuff I need to get out of there. They've been working on the bathrooms up here. They'll be working on the basement pretty soon, and the backyard pretty soon at some point. So there's still a lot of stuff going on. I still have a ton of stuff I need to do. And it's just a matter of when do I have time to do it. And I do things at a very slow pace, so it's just the way it is. So I just got to take on what I can. In regards to hanging out with people and doing stuff, a lot of people I've been talking with, and then I ghost, and I'm sorry for all that. I need to get my stuff. So there's a lot of people want to, just friends and whoever, just want to hang out and do stuff. And I've been like, hey, let's do this, and then I cancel, and then I ghost that person or something like that. And it's not anything to do with that person, with you, or anybody else. It's just I just keep getting issues out of nowhere, and all these things kind of compounding all at once, and then I'm like, and then I feel bad, and then I'm like, I need to take care of my stuff here before I start messing around and trying to schedule stuff with other people. So I'm really sorry to all of you who have been wanting to do stuff, and then I just kind of keep pushing you off. I'm really sorry. It's just, there's so much going on, and I'm just trying to do stuff so I'm not by myself and lonely, and include people, and then I get sick, or I get all these other scheduling issues and stuff like that, and it's just so much stuff. So I apologize to you, and we will do stuff soon. I just got to get this stuff under control here. Got to get my home in order before I can kind of do the other things. So that's what's happening. So I'm very sorry if I'm doing that. If I ghosted you, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think if that's pretty much everything for this month. I feel like there's other things I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember what they were. I think on the next one in June, I think I'll answer like a Q&A type of thing, because there's been a lot of people asking me some questions, and they've been reoccurring questions. And I think they're really interesting, good questions that, I'm willing to talk about. And if you want me to answer a question, just go ahead and send me a message. I'll answer anything. I don't care how crazy it sounds. If you want to know how much life I have left or whatever, something crazy like that, I have no problems talking about any of that stuff. So if you have any sort of questions, just let me know. I don't talk about religion, politics, family matters on here on any social media. That's just my thing. I don't talk about those things, and I don't care about anyone else's opinions on their things, of those things. So I just don't talk about those things, but I'll talk about anything. I have no problem. So we'll leave it at that. If you want to learn more about this, my journey through this, you can go to my website and watch all the previous videos and all that stuff. It is acoustifiedmedia.com/cancer, and that'll talk about all my journeys. You'll see all the videos from my previous check-ins and stuff like that. I have taken over my GoFundMe page. Originally, I didn't want anything to do with that, and my friends did that for me, and they started it, and there's been such a blessing because I have literally like $18,000 of medical bills right now just in the last 7 months, so it's crazy. But I've taken over the GoFundMe, so there's a lot of questions. Is this legit? It says someone else's name on your behalf. I've taken that over, so it's me that I'm going to run the whole thing by myself, just because so many people were asking questions and didn't feel comfortable because they weren't sure. So it is me. But anyways, if you want to learn more about any of the ALK cancer, my journey, or the GoFundMe, you can just go to acoustifiedmedia.com/cancer, or go to wherever I post this video. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I forget where else, all the places. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to do what we can to get outside. It's kind of raining right now again, but I need to get physically active and get out there and get exercise and get feeling good. And just sitting inside being cold is not helping. So, all right, I'm done for today. Thank you very much. Everyone who's donated, everyone who's said nice words, all of the kind compliments, all the people I've been seeing in person, they're like, oh, you look great. Thank you so much. All that stuff means so much to me, and it's been, it's been a journey. It's been quite the journey. Even it's only been 6 months, and already it's been quite an interesting, weird situation. I've learned so much. All right, we're going to leave it like that. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great summer, and I will check back in June. Thanks.